Welcome to part 8 of my Learn PHP Coding Tutorial Series. If you've been following along, you'll know that we've mentioned this thing called arrays a couple times already. In this part, I will explain what an array is and why it's useful and how to use them. As a reminder, this tutorial series is designed for anyone who is new to coding or to PHP, as I am helping you to understand the basics of coding, most of which can apply to just about any coding language, not just PHP. First, what is an array? If you think of a variable as a single piece of information, then an array is a collection of information. An array is a variable, but it is a variable equal to the value of a larger collection of information. If a variable can be represented by a note card, which has a name or the keyword that we use to reference that variable or the value, then think of an array as an envelope containing multiple note cards. The envelope itself has a name which we use to reference the entire collection, but each note card inside of the envelope also has a name or an index or a key, which we use to reference that specific piece of information. Think of an array as a book containing multiple chapters. Each chapter is an individual index or key in that array, but contains the data pertaining to that chapter. In PHP, we can create an array by typing the name of the variable, in this case fruits, then equals array. If we want to pre-fill our array with some information, we enter each piece of information separated by a comma inside of the parentheses. For example, we'll type apple, orange, lemon, lime. Remember that we use quotes around each of these fruits because they are strings, and we separate each one by a comma. This will result in a collection of data containing 4 pieces of information. There's also a shorthand way of creating an array. Instead of typing fruits equals array, we can type fruits equals open close square bracket. We can also pre-fill that array with information using the shorthand method as well. In PHP, if we try to echo or print fruits, it will simply show us the word array. That's because this is an array of information, meaning there are multiple values. So we are going to use a function called print_r to display the contents of our array. We'll type print r fruits. This shows us the contents of our array. We're also going to use the HTML pre-tag in order to make this a bit easier to read. Now we can see our one variable, fruits, contains 4 pieces of information. Each one has an index or a key along with its associated value. The index in this case starts at 0 and increments by 1 each time. Index 0 equals apple, index 1 equals orange, and so on. Back in our code, if for whatever reason we wanted the indexing to start at 5, then before apple we would type 5 equals greater than. The equals greater than operator assigns a value to an index. This is only required when creating a new array. If we refresh our page, we'll see that we'll still have one array containing 4 pieces of information, but the indexes now start at 5 and count upward. 5 equals apple, 6 equals orange, and so on. Arrays can be very useful when creating loops. We will get into how loops work in a future episode, but a loop is simply the ability to repeat a piece of code to perform the same task multiple times. In order to access the value of a specific index of our array, we would type echo fruits 5. The 5 is inside of square brackets. This will display apple and only apple, which is the value of index 5. If we typed echo fruits 7, this would display lemon. We can reassign values to indexes or assign values to new indexes in a similar way. If we type fruits 5 equals watermelon, and then print our fruits again, we will see that now index 5 equals watermelon instead of apple. However, if we type fruits 9 equals watermelon and print r, we will see that watermelon has been added as index 9. We could also type fruits 2 equals watermelon, and we'll see that our array contains 5 values now instead of the original 4. However, we also see that 2 comes after 8. That's because this array maintains the order in the order that it was assigned, not in the order of the index. There are functions in PHP which will allow you to sort the array based on its index or its value, but we won't get into any of those today. If we did not know the last index of the array, but we wanted to add another fruit at the end, we could simply type fruits open close square brackets equals watermelon. If we print r, you'll see that now watermelon is index 9. as it continues counting from the last index. Adding another fruit in the same way makes that one index 10. There is a PHP function called count. We can use this to determine how many pieces of information this array contains. If we type echo count fruits, then it will say 6. The array that we've been working with is a simple and ordered or numbered array. We can also create what's called an associative array. An associative array means that the index or the key could be anything not necessarily in order, and it points us to its own value. In some coding languages, an associative array is referred to as a dictionary instead of an array. Associative arrays are made and used in the same way, except that we define specific keys or indexes for each value. For example, we could create an array called car. Then we could say make equals Jeep, model equals Wrangler, year equals 2020, color equals black. If we print our car, we'll see the details of the car or the values as they are associated with the specific keys. If we typed echo car year dot blank space car make dot blank space dot car model, then we would see 2020 Jeep Wrangler. Remember, the dot is appending the string that we're printing. The space in quotes is literally just a space to allow us to read what we echo. In the last part of this tutorial series, we created a simple form and began handling the data in that form. Underscore post is a superglobal, meaning it's a standard variable in PHP which is automatically accessible from anywhere in your code. However, it's also an array. It contains a collection of data. In the case of the post superglobal, the names of our inputs in the form become the indexes of the array. That's why we can access name by typing post name and email by typing post email. This is an associative array. Back in our code for the HTML form that we created, let's add checkboxes. Here we are going to allow the user to check all of the fruits which they like. We'll give them 5 options. We're going to give each input the same name, fruits. However, we will also add an open and close square bracket after the word fruits as part of the name. We'll then set the value of each checkbox to the actual name of the fruit. When we submit the form, this tells PHP to create an array called fruits and only fill it with the value of the checkboxes which are checked. We'll print our post so that we can see what's going on. If we don't check any fruits, we won't see any index for fruits. However, if we do check 3 of those fruits, we'll now see an index of fruits equals another array with 3 indexes, 0, 1, and 2, and each of those indexes has a value equal to the 3 fruits which we checked. This array inside of an array is called a multidimensional array. In our code, we can type selected fruits equals post fruits, then print our selected fruits, and this will display the 3 fruits that the user selected. This also means that selected fruits becomes a single dimension array containing only the 3 fruits which were selected. In the coming episodes, we'll make use of arrays in a way that is a bit more practical, but for now I hope that this video has helped you to understand what an array is and how to use arrays in PHP. If you found this to be helpful, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. Thanks for watching.